All right, we are recording. Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. My name is Ashley Walmer, and I am a part of this team. I am one of your uplines in Team Ignite and a founding circle member. Just a fancy way of saying that I'm direct to corporate and one of the people that get to help you guys in this entire fun journey of MRIS. So I am super excited tonight to hop in here and talk to you guys about the part of this business that makes us money, right? It's recruiting, adding new team members to your team. So that is what we are going to be focused on tonight, is tips on recruiting and how you guys can maximize them. Before we get started, I do want to start with just a few announcements. So today, the last couple hours left in today and all day tomorrow are the very last days to buy your MRIS Live ticket at $204, because starting on October 2nd, they will go up to $300, okay? So for those of you that are brand new and you're wondering, okay, I keep hearing about MRIS Live, like what is this event? Why do I need to go? We have an event in our team page in Ignite called Why Should I Go To, or Why Should I Attend MRIS Live? If you want to be added to that event and kind of just scroll through some of the posts there, make sure you text your upline, make sure you get a hold of me, and I would be happy to add you guys to that. The other event that is in our team page right now is for MRIS Live. So if you already have your ticket and you're planning on going, you're going to want to make sure you click on that event. So you can go to Ignite in the Facebook page, click on the events. If you're on your phone, it'll be right here. If you're on a computer, it'll be on your left side. Click on events and find the event that's called I'm Going to MRIS Live. You are going to want to stay on that page as we have tons of announcements to come. Fun stuff, fun team stuff, after parties, welcome parties, champagne toast, all sorts of goodies planned for you guys. You're going to want to make sure that you stay connected on that event so you don't miss out on anything. Leave no man behind is like our team hashtag, because we never want anybody to feel like they missed out. So we have a new contest. So Steph, Nikki, and I got together today, and we are bringing to you guys something really special at conference. I don't have the details of how many, and I don't have the details on if it's going to be Sunday at lunch or Monday at lunch. I'm waiting to hear back from Aspen on that. But what we are doing is we are starting a contest where you can earn a spot to come to lunch with Mike and I, Stephanie and Brad, and Nikki and Ben. And it is going to be really special, just a place for us to pour into you. But the thing I love about this contest, you guys, is it's an equal level playing field. Every single one of you has an opportunity to earn it. And there are very simple ways that you can get points, like getting on a Zoom like this, okay? Every single point, though, is going to go towards business building. So all of them are going to help you build your business during those by getting those points. So that is a twofold effort. Mike, will you hand me the end of that cord real quick, please? All right, I got to plug my phone in, otherwise it's going to die. All right, so make sure, if you don't know about that contest, thank you, that you get on the our Ignite page and you look for all of the different ways that you can earn points, okay? If somebody has it up, you can throw it in the chat and type it in there, the different ways that you can earn points. I did just make the Google Drive, so if you are somebody, I'm gonna post that in the chat right now. If you're somebody who's already earned points, you can definitely go on that Google form and fill it out. The contest, actually, I backdated it for you guys. Do you love that? So starting on Friday. So Friday, anything that you guys have done that count towards this pay week, you can count those towards that contest. So who's excited about that? I will be so excited to see who those top point earners are and who we get to eat lunch with. And maybe there might be some special people from corporate stopping by to pour into you guys as well. All right, so enough announcements. Let's get into the goodies of this Zoom. So I wanted to talk to you guys before I start kind of giving you guys some tips and tricks and verbiage and all that fun stuff, is just the power of one person in your team. The power of adding one brand new person, enrolling one brand new person. If all of you guys could leave this Zoom tonight and know and understand why you want to go enroll one more person right now, tomorrow, this week, it would explode your guys' business. If you were at Emrys Elevate in Nebraska, you talked about, or you heard Aspen talk about the power of certain people that were in that room and how they impacted her business. Most of the people she didn't already know before network marketing. I'm pretty sure, I think Steph was the only one that she knew, and it was because she was a sideline to her in Arbonne. It wasn't even because Steph was on her team. But because of getting in and signing one person, that person led to somebody else, who led to somebody else, who led to somebody else, who ended up being a rock star and ended up in that room at Emrys Live. I believe she gave like 6 or 7 different examples of ways of people that were woven into her life that have not just impacted it in a big way as like a friendship level, but has impacted her as a person and in her business. And because of those business relationships have led her to where she's at right now today. So it's just incredible, you guys, what one person can do. And what I really want you guys to think about is, so for me, I'm going to tell you guys how I built to 6 figures. Okay. Do you want to know the secrets of how I built to 6 figures in less than 12 months? You ready for it? It's get to every event that I can. And when I sign somebody, I want to get in front of their people as fast as possible. Why? Because the person that I sign, that I bring into this, might quit. They might quit tomorrow. They might quit in a week. They might quit in a month. But if I can get in front of their people as fast as possible, I might be able to find somebody, to connect with somebody, to build a relationship with somebody that they brought into the business, that even if that person that I enroll leaves, they won't, because they catch the vision, right? I also want to get in front of their people as fast as possible to help them sponsor. Because when somebody is brand new into this, you guys, they don't know how to answer all the questions. They don't know how to do a Discover Emrys, right? But we do. And so if you as the enroller can get in front of their people, you're going to close those people for them. You're going to be adding new people to their team, which then adds new people to your team. So if you guys can grasp this concept of you're personally enrolled are not the be all end all to your business. It's the entire team. And it's sponsoring through your team, sponsoring through your personally enrolled, and helping those other people that are going to grow your business to massive, massive, massive levels. All right. So that one person can literally change everything. Absolutely everything. Some of you know the story of how Aspen and I came to meet, but we were both in a former company. She was a top level leader at a company that I made nothing in, right? And so because I knew of that company and the level of success that she had, when I had a girlfriend that got me on the phone with her, she had that credibility. In my mind, I was like, why in the world would somebody leave that kind of income to go start something new, right? You guys, we're all in this position right now. This is why three-way calls are so absolutely incredible. But because Aspen wore a pink heart rate monitor, and the girl next to her had one, and they started connecting and talking, she signed that person up in our business, and Aspen said, okay, who do you know? You guys, that's as easy as it is. Who do you know? Okay, well, I know this girl that works at the hospital. All right, so Aspen went and talked to the girl at the hospital. She got in. All right, who do you know? Well, I've got a neighbor, and she might be interested in this. Okay, let's go talk to her. Aspen went to the neighbor and presented to her, and the neighbor got in. And Aspen said to her, who do you know? And she said, well, I just moved to Nebraska. I don't know anybody, but I have a friend, Ashley, and she lives in New York. And Aspen said, okay, let's go call her. And that is how Aspen and I got connected. But do you guys understand and know that if Aspen just enrolled the girl with pink heart rate monitor and only helped her, went through all the ingredient lists and, helped her figure out how to talk to people and all this stuff, and Aspen never just said, who do you know? Let's go talk to them, and then went with her, it would have never led her to me and a majority of this team. All right. And same thing with Steph. Steph's example was the same way with Aspen, right? And so just think about that for a second. Like, let that sink in. Like, my life would be completely different if my friend Laura had never said yes to Aspen in that former company. Everything changed because of those very, very little moments and interactions. And so I just want you guys thinking about that, of as you're enrolling people and as you're getting in front of people, if you're in a room with one person, you have a listening audience and you have a way to impact them, which could like potentially bring ripples into your life in the future that you may not even know right now, right? But that is the power of one person. That one person can shift the entire momentum of your business. You guys enrolling one person right now this week in your business could shift the entire momentum of going into conference, of leaving conference, of you going VP. That one person and the work that you're going to do to get them started and ask them who do they know and help them reach out to people and go with them to talk to their friends and family could impact your entire business for years to come, your kids' legacies, your family legacy, knocking off dream boards on your dream list because you talk to one person. Okay, is this starting to sink in? The power of one person and sponsoring through that person is so, so huge. The other thing that I want you guys thinking about is if you can go get one person in this week by Thursday, all right? So this is my challenge. I want you to sponsor one person by Thursday. And I want you to send that challenge out to your team. We're going to bring in one person. It is going to literally double your team in size. If you are brand new and you're just by yourself and you don't have a team yet, right? Maybe that's you. If you go bring in one person, guess what? You just doubled your own team. Now you've got two people working, you and that person. And then you're going to tell them, hey, let's go double your team. And they go enroll one. Now you've got three people, right? If you've ever looked in your back office and looked at your tabular genealogy and scrolled all the way down to the bottom, it shows 1 of 50 out of whatever that number is. How many people do you have on your team? Do you have 20? Do you have 40? Do you have 15? Do you have 2? Do you have 100? Do you have 200? Imagine logging in next week, Friday, or this week, Friday, because the week ends on Thursday, and that number doubling, you guys. What would you, like, how would you feel right now if that number doubled? Like, what would that look like? How much money do you think that would be in a pay raise? What rank would you be hitting if your team literally doubled by Thursday night? What would that do for your business, for your life, the life of the people on your team? Think about the people that don't have anybody yet. Them just enrolling that one person. You guys, part of this business that gets lonely sometimes is when you don't have anybody on your team and you're doing it by yourself. You don't have a buddy. That is the number one win that you want to get for your people right away, is who do you know? And let's go talk to those people, because I want you having a buddy in this. I want you doubling your team. Let's go. All right, so let's move forward. I just wanted to kind of point out the power of one and how that can really impact your business. So let's talk a little bit about some recruiting tips. So one thing that I've realized in all of recruiting is there's a little bit of a formula, okay? So it's consistency plus action equals the results, okay? You can be as consistent as possible, but without the action behind it. Maybe you're consistently posting, or maybe you're consistently messaging people, but you're not making the ask and you're not following up with anybody, right? That's the action required to actually get them in that are going to get you the results that you want, which is signing them. Okay, so consistency plus action equals results. Or maybe you're doing the action. Maybe you're really, really good at, for 3 or 4 days, messaging a ton of people. Or maybe you're really good at posting for a couple of days, but then you lack the consistency, right? Lacking the consistency doesn't lead to results. Lacking action with consistency doesn't lead to results. So you guys want to focus on both of these things as everything that I'm talking through. So let's talk about some social media, different ways that you can recruit through social media. Okay. So consistent posting, you guys, is so, so huge. If you're not a social media person, that's okay. You don't have to use social media to do this business. I built to 6 figures in a year without using social media. It's definitely possible. But one thing I will say is when you leave your house, you leave your door, you have access to the people that are in front of you. You pick up your phone and go on an app where there's millions and millions of people. You have access to those millions of people, right? And so social media is just a way for you to grow your list. It's a way for you to grow your who do you know? It's a way for you to warm up your warm market. And so when you can consistently post every single day, day after day, you're starting to put it out there that you're in business. People are going to think of you when they need CBD. People are going to think of you when they need extra money. And that is what you want. They might not be ready for it right now, and that's okay, but they're watching. So every day, if you were to go, if we had a physical storefront, right, we'd have to unlock the door and open up shop. So the way I look at social media is every morning when I wake up, I have to open up my business. I have to post, I have to like, comment, do some of those things so that I'm opening my business to social media, right? So consistently posting is going to get that done. Going live. All right. So this might be a scary thing for you guys. It was for me. The very first time I ever went live, I was shaking. It was terrible. It was horrible. Pretty sure I jumped off of there without saying anything I wanted to or without making a point at all. But you know what? I didn't die. And then I was like, okay, well, next time I might have a few bullet points written down. And I think I'm going to do it at a time when, I'm not stressed out or whatever else, right? So just do it. Done is better than perfect. Just get it done. You guys are going to break through that comfort zone, and then it's not going to be so scary. A really good way to break through it is go live in our team page. Give a business building tip in there. If something's working for you, share it. Right? That way you're going live and you're practicing with your team before you even go live to your audience. But going live is one of those things that hits the algorithm just right, where people are starting to watch and listen. And the thing that I love about lives is they can feel your energy. They can see you. They can hear what you're trying to say. It's not this script that they're reading. They know that you're real. They know that what you're putting out there is for them. All right? So going live. Now, the next thing that I want to tell you about with social media and recruiting is interacting, commenting, liking on other people's things. Why? Because when you're commenting and you're liking on other people's things, they're going to see your post. You're going to see their post. Super important if you're consistently posting, right? But the other thing that it does, you guys, is it just gets you messaging more people, talking to more people. Maybe you're somebody that you're like, you know what? I haven't touched Facebook ever. I don't ever post. I haven't been on Facebook since high school. What a great way to just reconnect with a bunch of people than going through and liking and commenting on their stuff and starting those relationships over again, getting back in their newsfeed and seeing, oh my gosh, so-and-so just had a baby. So-and-so just had a grandbaby. Like, I need to reach out to this person and talk to them, not about MRES, just about life. That is the thing with interacting. There is something that I follow that's called Letter of the Day. All right. I will post an image of how to do Letter of the Day on the recording of this in Ignite. So look for that under the recording. But what it is you just take a letter. So say today is the letter G. I'm going to go to Facebook, type in the letter G on my friends list, and I'm just going to start interacting with all of my friends that have the letter G. It's not going to be about MRES. It's just touching base with them, seeing what they're up to, liking, commenting, giving them some love on their posts. Then guess what's going to happen? They're going to go to my page. And if I'm consistent in posting, they're going to see what I'm up to. And so as we go back and forth for maybe a day or two, it's going to come up. You guys, one of the first questions that people ask is, so what have you been up to? So what do you do for work these days? And when you ask that question, so what's new with you? They're going to answer and they're going to ask it right back. And then you get to say, well, I'm actually launching a ground floor company. Like, it's crazy. You don't even have to go into anything more than that. They're either going to bite or they're not. And if they don't bite, that's okay. Continue developing the relationship with them until it's appropriate time to be able to reach back out. So the next thing you want to do consistently on social is adding to your network, adding new friends. You might be somebody who only has 100 friends on Facebook, right? Well, if only 17% of your friends see your posts, only 17 of your friends are seeing that. So you need to get some more friends. You need to add to your network on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you guys do. It's the same thing as adding to your names list, right? So it's adding to your network so you have more watchers that are watching your posts. All right, I did do a Facebook training. It's called How to Rock Facebook. If you guys are like, okay, I'm loving all this social media stuff, I just don't know where to start, definitely watch that. It'll kind of give you guys some just tips and tricks on how to do Facebook, all right? So one thing, just so you guys know about social, is it helps to warm up your warm market. Okay, so I say I build belly to belly. I love building belly to belly. We do events. I like talking to people, touching people. Like, it's just my thing, right? But without social media, people aren't watching my journey. They're not seeing what a big deal this is. And so it's warming up those relationships. So when I either go to message them or they message me, they're like, okay, I know what she's talking about because I've been seeing it and I've been watching it. It is so, so super important. Okay, so let's talk about recruiting in person. So, have you hosted an event? If not, why? If you're the only person on your team, that's okay. You can host an event. Do you know that Matthew calls something press play, cash checks? The video, the Discover Emrys video that we have, that 22-minute video, that's how he built to 7 figures, is he didn't know how to explain everything. And so he would go sit down with somebody and press play on the video. The video would do the talking, go through everything, and then he'd ask at that very end, so what was your favorite part? That's not my personality to ask that. I would say something like, so do you see yourself doing this with me, right? Press play, get them in. So same thing, you guys, if you have new team members that are coming on, maybe they don't live by you, they can still host an event. They can press play on a video, right? You can Zoom in or FaceTime in to close them out. But a really amazing way to get in front of prospects is just host an event. You have an obligation and responsibility now to go invite to that event and bring people there. Now, let's talk about inviting to recruit versus recruiting to invite. So if you are inviting to recruit, that means every Tuesday we have an event. And say I'm inviting to next Tuesday, and I'm reaching out to a bunch of people and I'm like, hey, I'm having this event next Tuesday. Hope you can make it. Come to my event. Here's the image. Come to my event. Chances are like 1% of those people are going to come. So that's inviting to hopefully try to recruit someone. Now, the opposite is recruiting to invite. So instead of even saying anything about the event, your goal is to recruit them. So your goal is to say, hey, let's go grab coffee. Let's meet up. Let's go do XYZ. Hey, can you jump on the phone? And you're talking to them, giving them info, recruiting them, trying to get them in. Then you can say, hey, we have this event next Tuesday night. Do you know anybody? Right? Do you know anybody that would be interested in doing what you're doing, making a little bit of extra money and getting healthier? Like, we need to go talk to them. Let's bring them to Tuesday with you, right? So you're recruiting to invite to the event. That concept completely changed my business. When I said that I built to 6 figures doing event after event after event, that's all we used to do, you guys, is that. And that is what we are doing here, and it is working. All right. So if you guys are brand new and you're like, okay, I like that idea of like pressing play on a video, make sure if you're meeting with somebody or if you're in a group of people that you get your upline involved, because we would love to FaceTime or Zoom in at the very end and help close it out for you. We can edify you, which will edify the people in the room, and it shows the people that you're talking to that you're getting help and you're not in this by yourself. All right, so let's talk about messaging. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that you guys can really seal the deal with messaging and talking to people using 3-way chats. So the second that you're starting to talk to a potential and they're like, hey, I've got a couple questions, get your upline involved. All right, say, hey, you know what? That's a great question. I'm actually going to add Ashley into this chat. She's been doing this a little bit longer than me, and I know she knows the answer to that, and I just want to make sure you're well taken care of. Add me to the chat. I'm going to help you. Again, this is recruiting through your people, you guys. So 3-way chats are amazing. I talked to somebody last week that put me on one, and immediately she started asking questions about products. And I was like, I just said in the 3-way chat, I was like, hey, I'm actually in the car right now. Do you have 5 minutes where I could just give you a call? And she said, yeah. And I called her. She didn't just sign up as a VIP customer. She signed up as a founding partner, even though she was only interested in the products. Getting on the phone with your uplines is so, so huge. So those 3-way chats are gold. They work really, really well. If you've heard Eileen talk about the 2x2 rule, all right? So every single day, talking to 2 people about Emrys and connecting with 2 people, not anything about Emrys. That is a fabulous way to recruit. Again, consistency plus action. If that's something that you guys can consistently do in your messaging, do that rule. I love it. The thing that I love about that is it's a non-negotiable. You guys, if I'm sick, if I have a fever and I'm in bed and I need to sleep for most of the day, there's probably going to be a 10 to 20 minute window at some point where I can pick up my phone and send 4 messages. It's just the truth, right? So what are those non-negotiable things for you of, you know what, even if I don't feel good, even if I'm busy, even if I'm on vacation, I can still send my 2x2, right? So I want you guys to figure out what that is for you. Make it a goal to either send out X amount of messages. Maybe you're like, okay, if I could at least send 1 message every single day, or if I could send 10 messages every single day, that's something I can consistently do. Or maybe it's each day I'm going to spend 10 minutes messaging. And it doesn't matter how many people I message, it's just 10 minutes is my time frame. Maybe it's 20, maybe it's 30, maybe it's 15 minutes, whatever that is. If you're going to pick up your kids in the school line, get there a few minutes early, send some messages for whatever time that is. Or maybe your goal is to have X amount of conversations. Maybe you're like, you know what? It doesn't matter about how many people and it doesn't matter about the time. I want to have 2 good conversations every single day where people are taking a look at Emrys. So it doesn't matter how much time or how many people. I'm going to have that goal of I want 2 good conversations. All right. So what is that number for you? Whatever it is, again, consistency plus the action is going to get you those results. So one thing that I do, you guys, and this is going to like sound silly, but it completely seals the deal with almost every single person, is I use voice audios. Now, voice audios can be picking up the phone. It can be sending a voice audio through Facebook or Messenger. It could be FaceTime, but I want them hearing and seeing me. And so if they're sending me a message, I immediately am like, hey girl, I'd love to give you a little bit more info. So here's the deal. This is a ground floor company. We got in the middle of January. It's been insane. It's crazy. It's booming like crazy. We're perfectly positioned in 4 different markets. We have 9 different ways that we can earn income. I would love to send you a little bit more info. And then I send them the video, or I'm like, when's a little bit of time that we can hop on the phone and talk? But they're hearing how excited I am about this opportunity. If any of you are curious and interested of like what my audio actually sounds like, send me a message on Facebook and I'll forward it to you. I send the same one over and over and over again. And that's another tip. Record yourself. Send it to yourself on Facebook. You can type in your own name and send a recorded message to yourself of what you would want to say if somebody was reaching out to you for more info, or if you were reaching out to somebody else to talk to them about the business. Save it. Then you can, anytime somebody messages you, hey, can I have more info? You can go to Facebook, type in your name, and just click forward, that little square with the arrow at the top. Just click that button and type in their name and it automatically sends them a message. It looks like it's a brand new message right for them. It is incredible. It saves you so much time if it's already recorded. The next best thing that you guys can do in messaging people is using and creating a sense of urgency, of really just dialing in. Like if you're brand new, you guys have 2 spots. 2 spots, that's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. Leverage those 2 spots. When you're first talking to people, say, hey, I'm doing this business. Like it's exploding. It's already insane. Like this is a ground floor company that is going to be $1 billion company someday. I only have 2 top positions and I want one of them to be you. I don't know if you're interested or not, or even if it's a fit for you, but like seriously, you have to check this out. Like you have to. When can you talk, right? Create a sense of urgency and leverage those spots that you have, because you're never going to get those back. If you guys are looking for more like conversation starters, there is an album in Ignite called Convo Starters, and it's script after script after script. You just click on the picture that you want, and all of the comments are the scripts for you. So when you have 5 seconds, literally get on there, go through, save some of your favorites, put it in a note on your phone, so that way you can quickly just grab those scripts that fit your personality, edit them, change them, whatever you guys want. But there's tons of information in there, okay? The last thing I'll tell you guys of a tip for messaging people is put the order in yourself. So when you're talking to somebody and they're, wanting the synergy, say, hey, I'm actually putting in orders right now. Did you want me to throw that in for you? Otherwise, I can send you my website and you can do it yourself. Most people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, yeah, thank you. Put the order in by yourself, because chances are, if they're really interested in a product, what's going to happen is they're going to make dinner for their kids and they're going to forget. And then you're going to message, hey girl, did you put your order in? You already know that they didn't. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. I'll get on it later. Okay, then she's going to sit down and watch Netflix, and a bottle of wine later or a glass of wine later, it's like, oh my goodness, I forgot. And then days go by, and even though this person really, really wants the product or really, really wants to join your team, life has just happened and they've forgotten about it. And they don't have that sense of urgency. And so put the orders in for yourself. All right. Okay. So let's talk about follow-up. So again, consistency plus action equals results. So every single day you're following up with people that you've already talked to about this business. I set a timer, I message people, and then I follow up with people, right? So the best thing that you can do with following up is make the ask. So if you've talked to somebody about the products before, throw them a message and be like, hey girl, I know we were talking 2 days ago about the synergy. I'm actually placing orders for the week. Did you want me to throw that in for you? Okay. If you're talking to somebody about the business, hey, Brian, I know we talked 2 days ago about you getting in as a founding partner. Do you have any more questions, or are you ready to get started? Those are the 2 ways that I follow up with every single person. It's a customer or a brand ambassador. Those are the 2 ways. All right. It pushes them to respond and it pushes them to answer a question. That is the key. But just know, you guys, that it takes somebody sometimes 7 times before they hear about something before they join. Just Google stats on follow-up. You guys will be blown away. And just also know that people go through transitions in life every 6 months. So when you're talking to somebody right now about the products or the business, it might not be the right time for them. But guess what's going to happen? In 6 months from now, when they lose their job, or they have a baby, or they have to go back to work, or they go through a divorce, or they break up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever the situation is, their life just dramatically changed. And they might either now need this business more than ever and have a why, or they might need our products, right? So think about those things as you're getting no's, or not right now, or nobody answering you. It's okay. You're going to keep continuing to post. Again, this is consistency, follow up, because the worst feeling in the world is when you talk to somebody who says, no, this isn't a right fit for me, or it's not the right time in my life. And then you see this life thing happen and they go join another company because maybe that person was more consistent. And it was in their mind at that point when they're like, oh my gosh, I need extra money. So-and-so is in this company and I could join them because you weren't consistent, or because you didn't consistently follow back up with them. You're not on their mind, right? That is a huge gut check, and it is going to happen. It's happened to me. And I guarantee you, once it happens to you, you'll never make that mistake again. So learn from me. Don't allow that to happen. Just remember to keep following up with somebody and keep staying consistent, and you're posting, and they're going to see your stuff and they're going to think of you when they need that thing. Now, 2 more things, okay, about recruiting. Organization. And this looks different for every single person, you guys. I've gone through different things of organization, and some things worked for a time and then I needed to switch it up. Every single thing is different, okay? So one thing I learned, though, a while ago is if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. You don't have a plan in place of what you're going to do. You're literally setting yourself up for not succeeding and failing. So whatever it is for you, I use the calendar method of a 2-2-2 rule. So I have a calendar, and every day I write down all the people I talk to on that date. And then I follow up with people 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I also have a list of like all the new people that I've added on Facebook, so I can make sure I'm connecting with those people. That's what works for me. If you want to do it on a computer, do it on a computer. I know Mackenzie has a way that she's doing it. She showed me one day. I was like, this is genius. It works for her, right? So I also have a master list of everybody I'm following up with. That way, on a day that I have just a little bit more time, I can just send a message to all those people, or on follow-up Fridays, payday Fridays, right? You can message all those people that you're following up with. Also keep track of your VIP customers, whether you write it in a notebook, you put it on an Excel spreadsheet, whatever it is, put it in a note on your phone. Every single time you enroll a VIP customer, have some sort of system for how you're keeping track of that. Why? Because when we have new products, you guys are going to be easily able to go through your VIP customers and tell them, hey guys, we just launched at Emrys Live, right? And it'll be so easy for you to reach out to those people, which are ways for you to recruit, right? Also, your VIP customers can become some of your best brand ambassadors. So know who they are. All right, last thing I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to recruiting is overcoming objections. So just get comfortable with it. Like, just know the second you're talking to somebody about Emrys, be like, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Tell me your objection. I want to know. Everybody has them. Everybody has questions, right? Very few times, there's only been one time in my entire life that somebody came over to my house, watched a presentation. I said to her, do you see yourself doing this with us? And she said, yes, sign me up. One time. Most people have some sort of question or fear, and just know it's coming and get comfortable with the fact that they're gonna say it. They're gonna ask you that. Feel, felt, found. Anything that they say, okay? You want to make sure that they feel heard, that you're not going on the defense, that you're not putting them on the defense, that they feel heard, that they know you understand what they're talking about. And then you're offering a solution. So if somebody says, this sounds really cool, I just don't know if I know anybody. Like, I don't have a lot of friends. Oh my gosh, I totally know how you feel. I've been there. Like, after Andrew was born, I was like a hermit and I didn't leave my house. But you know what? That's when I really needed the money the most, because what I found is I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't want to get a babysitter. And that's the great thing. You just need 2 people in this business. That's it. Do you know 2 people? Ask them a question back, right? So whatever the objection is, feel, felt, found. All right, let me get back to my notes. I'm trying to stay on task for you guys. Okay, here's a huge another tip. As soon as you get that objection, if it's not in person, say it's like over messaging, screenshot it. Don't you dare respond. Don't you dare respond, okay? Screenshot it and send it to your upline and say, what would you say to this? The reason why is you are going to feel like right here, especially if it's one of the first times. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to bother you. It's happened. I've watched it happen at my house. And I'm like, don't you dare send that. Okay. So if you send it to your upline, if you send it to your sponsor, we are not emotionally attached to that at all. That person did not tell me no. I don't know that person. I'm able to objectively tell you, hey, you know what? This is what I would say. Feel, felt, found, right? And I will give you and help you with the words to say. So will your upline. So will your sponsor. So the best piece of advice is, as you guys are getting those objections right away, don't you dare answer. Send a screenshot on your phone. Text it to somebody that can help you, and we can help give you the words to say so that we can get back into the conversation with this person, okay? So last thing I wanted to kind of wrap up before I give you guys a few last minute reminders is just your action step off of this Zoom is take action, okay? Prioritize what gets you your results. So I want to read you guys something. And I hope it smacks you in the face like it did me when I first read it, okay? So it's an image that I saw somewhere floating around on social media. It says, instead of saying, I don't have time, right? How many times do we say, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to message. My kids are bothering me, right? Instead of saying, I don't have time, try saying it's not a priority and see how that feels. Often that's a perfectly adequate explanation, right? I have time to iron my sheets. I just don't want to. but other things are harder. Try it. I'm not going to edit my resume because it's not a priority. I don't go to the doctor because my health isn't a priority. Instead of, I'm not going to the doctor because I don't have time. If these phrases don't sit well, that's the point. Changing our language reminds us that that time is a choice. If we don't like how we're spending an hour, we can choose differently. So let me give you guys a few more, okay? Think about this. I don't pray daily because growing my relationship with God is not a priority. I don't do self-development because growing and becoming a better person is not a priority. Ooh, that one, yucky. Instead of I don't have $4.99 to enroll as a founding partner, try saying changing my life is not a priority. I don't work my business like I should because blessing my family's life and my team's lives is not a priority. I don't eat healthy because living longer and being in good shape is not a priority. I don't spend time with my kids or family because they aren't a priority. At the end of the day, you guys, your actions are a reflection of your priorities, and consistency plus actions gets you the results in any area of your life, right? Not just in your business. Okay. So couple last minute reminders. Remember, stay on the Zoom so I can take a screenshot of everybody that's on. And if you have an iPhone, we'll figure it out. Okay, so the next Discover Emrys is Wednesday, and there are in-person events happening all over the country. Check out In Ignite. There's an album. It's called In-Person Events this week. There's a ton of them. Aspen is going to be in Minnesota and Texas very, very soon. So if you know people there, you're going to want to get them in front of her. Weekend is Thursday at 11:59 Eastern. Emrys early bird tickets end this week, 2 more days at $204, and then they go up on October 2nd to $300. You can buy your ticket to Emrys Live at emryslive.com, right? I sound like a commercial. The end dates for the director bonus pool or the customer bonus pool are September 20th to October 17th. So if you're curious of where you're at, you can look at team productivity, change those dates, see what your PCV is. If you're pushing for director by October 17th, that's your deadline, right? Also, remember the contest. If you are going to Emrys Live, there is the Lunch with Leaders event that's going on, and there are tons of ways for you guys to get points and start earning that. So I'm going to go